So we've got our plate ready, we've drawn on it, we're happy with that. So get our Tupperware box that's a suitable size. Let's hopefully this is still fresh enough for your Coca-Cola. So obviously stale cola won't work as well, it's not as acidic. So hopefully this isn't too old. It's been open for 2 weeks, but I've not been opening and closing it that time. It's just ooh, I've splashed cola on it already. I wonder if that will do anything to it. Okay, so this is the fun bit, the sort of chemistry bit. So I don't know exactly how it works, but the phosphoric acid and the gum arabic that's in the cola are two very similar chemicals in traditional lithography process. So it sensitizes the surface of your plate, making any area that hasn't been drawn on, the phosphoric acid and the gum arabic will sensitize the surface to make it hydrophilic. So I really likes water. So water will just sit on it in a lovely smooth film. And the bits that you have drawn, that is protected. So when you come to wet it down with a sponge afterwards, the water will sit nicely on the areas that have been sensitized, but not on your drawn area. So in the next stage, you'll be inking it up with an oil-based ink, which obviously water repels oil. So anywhere there's water sitting on your surface, the oil-based ink won't stick to that, but it will stick to your drawing. So that's basically how this works. Sorry if I haven't explained it very well. Okay, so it says in the article 5 seconds is all you need to dunk it in the Coke for, and then I'm going to dash off and rinse it under the tap in the bathroom. But I thought it's easier to show you in here. So literally I'm just going to keeping it hold by the edges so you don't, again, still trying not to put fingerprints on. I'm just going to dunk it, count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a little bit longer because I'm worried that Coke is old. But you can see the bubbles all forming around the image. That's really cool. Okay. Shake, shake, shake. Run to the tap. So I might only put the tiniest bit of black in there. It's really stiff etching ink. Get your brayer, or ruler, whatever you call it. Pull yourself out a nice smooth area. So your ruler is nice and evenly covered. Pop that one to one side. Okay, so we've got our ink ready. Plate is ready. Need to go get ourselves a damp sponge. I think a problem I had last time was I didn't have enough water on the surface, and my ink was starting to stick to areas it shouldn't. So this time I've got obviously not a dripping sponge, but it's quite, if I was to squeeze out, water would come out, sort of wetness. So we've got our ink roller set up, we've got our wet sponge, we've got our plate, and I'm just gonna wipe across the surface. Hopefully that is not too wet, and then ink. Take a couple passes to. I'm just gonna keep making sure I got some water on there. Try and minimise the amount of water that. It's weird when you wet it, the ink becomes blacker almost, isn't it? Water in my ink, for that matter. So yeah, you've got to have a couple passes to load your lines up with ink. otherwise it'll have too faint an image. So you can see here, that's where I grabbed it earlier. And now you can see my fingerprints showing up on the plate. Sorry if it's not very good for you down there. Okay, I'm going to say that's enough ink. If I bring it up a bit closer, hopefully you can see what I was doing there. So all the lines that you drew and made marks with, and even the ones you didn't intend to, like fingerprints, have now caught the ink as they protected the surface from the chemical reaction of the acid and the coke that's sort of chemically etched the surface. Okay? Okay. So we're at the printing stage. So we've got, this is my nice little printer press. Birthday present to myself. So I'm just going to use some cartridge paper to start with. As I say, this is our first go, so I'm just going to carefully lay that on top. Take the felt blanket from my little press. I'm going to gently put my hand there so the paper doesn't move. Slide. Put that down carefully. And then we lower this on. So you want to tight, but not like super duper tight. It's not like. Okay. And I'm just gonna print. Hopefully. So yeah, it could have been tighter, I think. Some impression. And then hopefully, see, it's come out but needed more pressure, but that's not bad. Okay, so repeat the process. So I'll put that on there and then I'm going to ink it up again. Okay, so that was the second print. It's come out a lot darker. Not bad.